Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Number one thing I tell all my students, the guard pass you start with is usually not the one you finish with. They're gonna start working together, and it's up to you to figure out how to piece those things together. One of the number one sayings at my school is, I don't determine how you lose, you do. Because I'm taking everything that you're giving and all the information, and I'm just applying it with certain techniques so I pick the right tool for the right job. I don't pick up a tool and then find out what the job is. I figure out what the job is and then I grab the right tool for it. Treat it like a ladder. You go one rung at a time. Your hands operate one rung above or 2 rungs above where your feet are. So if we're looking at his body, right, and his legs are up, I have his ankles, his knees, his hips, his midsection, and then I can get to his head. I want to stay within that realm of control where I'm not ignoring the feet. This happens all the time to people as they go, I got to go up there and get that, and they skip all the legs. They get stuck in spider, lasso, daily hevas, just because they just didn't want to fight for the simple things. I want you to fight for the simple things. So when his legs are up, I'm paying attention to these. When I step, I'm skipping the ankles because the second I make contact, I'm actually fighting them here with my legs first. That way I can control the knees. When I feel like I have good, solid control, I'm gonna go to the next part, which is the hip. I'm not gonna reach up and overextend and get that elbow and knee separation. We're not gonna do that, we're not stupid. I'm gonna come right into that hip. I'm gonna go sideways, not forward. We're not going to the head. That's my end goal, it's not my next goal, okay? We're gonna drop that into the hip, elbow and knee stays connected. My elbow, I do my best to keep it where it is. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna shuffle to my left. 1, 2, and I'm gonna clear that hook and I'm gonna squat. My body is behind his waist. Just my hand is above because I'm trying to use my shoulder and my knee to wedge between his knees for control. So he's just gonna start in supine with his legs open, knees tucked, just so that we can work on approaching the guard in a very systematic way that's safe. It's all about assessing risk and making that decision of when I'm adding risk because I want to do something extravagant and when I'm mitigating risk, okay? There's no pass that's safe. There's no sweep that's perfect, okay? It's all about decision making and understanding when there's a good decision with a bad result or when there's a bad decision with a good result. We wanna make good decisions regardless of the result, okay? So all we're gonna do is he's gonna hang out and we're just gonna work on approaching and understanding distance with our partner, okay? That's step 1, is just understanding your own body length as well as your partner's, okay? Because it changes for everybody. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to make a step with my left, with a step with my right so that I can spread his legs, land in a position, and now I wanna find his foot with my leg so that I squat and I land in a positive position so my framework is working for me, okay? You know you're gonna be in a good spot because your body will structurally be able to support the pressure your partner puts on you. An example of doing it wrong but looking right is when I go 1, 2, and I squat, and now I'm more over the top of him. Because now when he pushes with your legs, I go back as well as he goes back. When I do it right and I land just in front of him and now I have that good solid base, when he pushes, he goes back, I stay. So if he's gonna push off me, I wanna see him slide away to weaken his frame so that I can start working past it. And all we're gonna do is work on not reaching and extending, leaning forward. We're gonna work on using our hip pressure, coming in and then landing in that position. We corkscrew that knee into the ground, and then I use my body and my hips to pressure in, and then my hands support. And he feels that weight, okay? What we're doing is we're trading off. The only thing that should be available to him are my ankles. Some guys with longer arms may or may not be able to get to your belt. What we want to avoid is leaning forward with our head so that he starts grabbing that collar and now he's controlling posture. And now I can't use the pressure of my hips. I want to focus on my hips driving forward, head driving back, so that I can maintain that good solid base. You should be on the insteps of your feet, okay? I want to see the outside of your foot on both sides when we're doing it. We're going to come back out, step into the position, find that balance point, slide that hand into place, slide across, step out. Find that position. If your partner closes because they're scared, just try to turn that shoulder, push with your legs. To push that, don't use your arms. Find that spot, okay? You want to be leaning on top of him and looking at him. See, he's uncomfortable. This isn't fun for him. Okay, it's not supposed to be fun. We're supposed to win, he's supposed to lose. Losing's not fun. But you want to get that shoulder into that knee now. This is going to suck for the guy on bottom. I'm going to start to pressure that knee through and separate. That way, him and I are together. Hand defending the area. That's its job. It's defending. I'm not doing this. Because the second you want to do this, a guy like Shanji's going to shrimp. He's going to put that foot up. Nope, right up to the hip. Yeah, and he's going to put that up. And look, now I have to back up because I have a foot to deal with. I can't now go to the hip because I have a foot, a knee, and then a hip. I have to address the knee so that my legs can go back to clear that foot, and now I'm back into square one. Don't get distracted with the upper half. Fight for the thing you need to fight for to control. Notice my head is still up. I am not leaning forward. I am back. My hips and my body is doing the work for me so I don't have to try that hard, okay? Learn to create the wedges with your partner. If the knees are together, I have to now go around his guard. That's okay, no problem. All we have to do, we can do this in one of two ways. I can either put my hand on the floor and make sure my hand is now the fulcrum. Head goes in top. Now that my head and my body are controlling his hips, my whole body's controlling his knee, now I can control that top half, and I can walk around, and I can come back. I can also just say, okay, I'm gonna take my hand out all together. I can grab the top of his knee, and I can just leave. And now I can walk around. You never bring your hand across your center line, right? Because if the second I do this, he grabs my tricep, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm not coming back from this. Same thing with this hand. The second I do this, he sees my back, he takes my back. Learn to fight with the tools you have, and if your shoulder pummeling's not strong enough, then it collapses. Okay, no problem. Maybe we have to weave, maybe we have to collapse, step over, and start collapsing his guard to work out the back rather than go through it. So as we're coming around, right, and we're here, he's gonna be pushing me away, no problem. Slide, walk back, walk back, walk back, walk back. Now I can pull that back. Again, I have not gone past the hip, right? Number one thing I look for when I'm fighting from the top position, arm straight, right? So the second, remember what I do, if he makes a mistake, I allow him to keep making the mistake. He never should have stretched his arm straight. That's like rule number one, exposes the elbow. Perfect, now I just gotta work on getting into that position. Balance, balance. He carries the weight. Walk back, control the hip. The friction comes from three areas. First one, my plant leg has to be in a position where I'm pushing through the knee, okay? I need him to pressure. That way, when I push, it's not forward, it's sideways. That way, that leg can windshield wiper, and I can walk my hips back to stay behind the leg. Now I can start to expose that back to get to the back, to get to all the good finishing positions.